everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. So we have quite a lot of new subscribers recently. Welcome everybody. What better way to welcome you all, I thought, than with an incredibly nerdy contemporary music tutorial. Yay! Before we start, don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already, and the winners of last week's giveaway, the 3 recorders and Team Recorder goodie bags, are all in the pinned comment below. So congratulations to you 3. Let's get started. Austro by Giorgio Tedde, Italian composer, composed in 1991. In my opinion, it is the most beautiful piece of contemporary music, and it is written perfectly for the recorder. What's so special is that it's completely idiomatic for the recorder. All the techniques used and the textures it creates, you can't transfer this to any other instrument. And in combination with your breath pressure, tiny finger movements and circular breathing, you create this huge kaleidoscope of beautiful sound effects. The full piece can be like 15 minutes, so I'm not going to play it all now, but I'm just going to play like a short 1-minute version so you can get an idea of the sounds used. Let's go. One real strength of this piece is that it's so vast and hypnotic. When you're listening to the whole thing, you really have to surrender yourself to it and just... I actually recorded the full piece on my album Constellations, which you can listen to on Spotify, so I'll put that in the description below. Austro is based on the sound colour of the recorder and all of the overtones within it. So that's why he's gone for this Baroque recorder where those low notes crack really easily. It's not about playing a beautiful Baroque melody. These are all sound textures to be explored. And you actually get to play chords. It's beautiful, but I'm not gonna lie, this piece is really, really difficult. But that's why I'm here. The first question you probably have is, circular breathing? Circular breathing is where you use your cheek muscles to push air out at the same time as breathing in through your nose to give the impression that you never actually breathe. In this whole 15-minute piece, you actually only take a breath once. It goes without saying that before starting Austro, you have to be able to circular breathe. I'm not going to teach you how to do it here because I've already spent an entire video going through that in detail. This was actually my very, very first tutorial, so I'm speaking really softly and quietly, but the content is still solid, so if you want to learn circular breathing, go here. One challenge is where to put your breathings. Now, because this piece is so delicate and there's so much attention to detail, even if you're amazingly practiced, it can still be really noticeable when you make a breath. So don't take one of these breaths during a really still moment, but mask it with some activity. For example, the finger movements, or vibrato. helps if I link the breathing to the music to kind of give it an impulse. So like breathe and go. You're always going somewhere. The other challenge with blowing in your instrument for 15 minutes pretty much uninterrupted is that your recorder will get stuck. It's going to fill up with condensation / spit and be like... You have to take absolutely every precaution when playing this piece. That means warming up your recorder properly for a long time before playing. Make sure you don't eat or drink anything that is going to make your mouth sticky. Be practical. If you're playing it in a concert program, use this recorder only for Austro. And then the composer is wise. He has actually built in 3 moments in the piece where you have to go... It's musical, but the purpose is actually to clear out your instrument. The next challenging thing about Austro is the score. You will get this music and look at it and think, what? As you can see, he uses a numerical system related to your fingers. The ground note that you should be playing is notated, and then the numbers refer to which fingers you should be lifting. So -6, remove finger 6, -5, remove finger 5, and then you get this effect. In the beginning, that's quite easy to follow, but you'll see on page 3 that we have these whole build-ups. This isn't something you can sight read. You have to go through it really slowly and actually committing it to muscle memory. Let's give you a bit of a complicated example, shall we? We're starting on a G. We've got a -5 and a -4. Added to that, we've got 7 off, but your finger 6 is doing a glissando between full and half while these trill. Let's try that. So it looks really daunting, but the audio effect makes a lot of sense when you listen because it's just really beautiful. The notation for vibrato in the score is done with a wiggly line, and it's really important that you follow. The faster the line, the faster the vibrato, because this is always tied to the action in the piece. I always liken it to dropping a stone in the water, and the second the stone hits, all these ripples spread out. There are 2 finger patterns that are going to catch you out. On page 2, we have the famous Austro trill. It sounds like this. Fingers 5 and 6. Now, we might think that the 5-6 trill is this, but it's actually twice as complicated because when you lift your finger, you have to put it back before the next one lifts. So it's not this, but this. So you really have to practice this slowly and make sure you're doing it. The other pattern that catches us out are the chords at the end, lifting fingers 4 and 3. It looks like it should be this. That's relatively straightforward, but actually you're lifting 4, lifting 3, putting back 4, putting back 3. That's harder. And then, do you want to know the really complicated thing? While you're doing these very complex trills and circular breathing, you're also probably going to be glissandoing with your pinky finger. This should sound seamless, so I'm going to tell you my cheat. I actually get a little bit of cork grease and I grease my finger. Then it slides like a dream. Okay, I'm going to throw another level of complexity at you. It's not only about these detailed finger movements, but combining it with exactly the right breath pressure. This piece is about the sound of the recorder, so we have the beautiful full Baroque sound, but we also break this. The recorder has all these different overtones. And the piece will ask you to hit specific ones. So it's not just like nice sound, broken sound, nice sound, but going for those exact specifics of brokenness. In the beginning, you'll be wanting to just slightly hit the edge of that multiphonic. Later on, we're trilling on the different stages of the overtone series. Woo woo! And I want you to be exact with that. Don't just blow and hope for the best. I figured out for my recorder a finger combination that works, so I get the F sharp, C sharp, F sharp. And write these down. You know that at that moment you're trilling finger 5, then you're trilling finger 0, it's gonna work. And then there are moments in the piece where you go super quiet, and don't be afraid to break this Baroque sound on the other end by going really, really soft. Drawing the audience into you. Now, I'm talking about this piece with the recorder, but the other half of it is the electronics. You actually played this piece amplified, partly so that the audience can hear all of these tiny details, but you're also going to be adding some reverb, so this echo that's coming back and washing over you is something that you're actively listening to when you're playing and pushing against. This is so nice with this glissando between F and F sharp to feel the friction, and that's a really important part of the piece. Because this piece has so much dynamics, I like to use a standing mic rather than a headset, because then I can really play with my distance to the microphone to help those dynamics. I use a condenser mic, really nice detailed sound. If you like, you can put a thingy on there to stop any pops. It's also really handy, especially in the beginning where it's really still. You can go away from the microphone to breathe and then come back. There's nothing worse than being on your microphone going. And then the last big challenge is stamina. Challenging piece, a lot happening, and you're circular breathing for 15 minutes. I find it really helps to get into the meditative zone. This piece is long. Enjoy it. I try to look at the shapes of the phrases and how they rise and fall, and then really practice each phrase from memory. I think it's really important that you're not reading this music, but you're feeling it. Because the real art with Austro isn't all this crazy technical stuff, the amazing finger work, the circular breathing, but it's about drawing your audience in to this magical sound world that you're creating. I actually found on YouTube an account that has uploaded an audio recording with the score, so if you're curious you can go and read along. And of course, if you want to play it, you should buy this score, support the composer. I'll put the link in the description. Have you played Austro, or are you practicing it? Please let me know. We can be Austro buddies. And I just want to take a second to talk about Skillshare, who are sponsoring this video. Thank you, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creative, inspired people, which is why I know that this would fit all of you, my dear viewers. It's a place where you can take thousands of classes in all kinds of different subjects. It's so nice to have all of these classes in one place. Like once you have a Skillshare membership, you can just try anything. So ones that have caught my eye recently are the Filmmaking from Home with Found Footage by Penny Lane, and also the Creative Breakthrough 8 Exercises to Power Creativity, Confidence and Career by Danielle Kreiser. That's something that I'm like, yes, I want that. Premium membership works out at less than $10 a month, but I have an offer for you. The first 1,000 people to click on my link in the description will get 2 months of Skillshare Premium for free. So, that was my tutorial on Austro. As always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face down here. Here is the team recorded Patreon where you can choose to support the channel. And up here is a tutorial for one of my other favourite contemporary works, Jesty. Thanks for watching and have a great day.